Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. Shri Harinam Sankirtanam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So let us begin with prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निरविशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Today we are discussing about lifestyle management. The main thing in life is to keep the main thing the main thing. That is the main thing. I repeat, the main thing in life is to keep the main thing the main thing. That is the main thing. This material world moves on the flux of distraction. And just because there is so rampant distraction, therefore, uh, each one of us are very much prone to get sidetracked into spending our lives and times in something secondary, tertiary, quaternary, and so on. And therefore, we will see in the very fabric of the society, now from a suicidal perspective, if we see, the necessities of life are very much depleting. The unnecessities of life are very much increasing. This is owing to a distractive mindset, you see. The unnecessities of life very much increasing. So there is no much fresh air in the atmosphere. There are no organic fruits and vegetables much available. So very costly. So the necessities of life becoming rare. Unnecessities increasing. Air conditioning, video gaming, unnecessities increasing. So therefore we see that there is always a three-phase current which flows in the lives of everybody. You know, material machinery also works on AC. It's a three-phase alternating current. And what are the three phases of this current? Now, these three phases are very interesting. So, whenever any allurements pop up, like Ravan said, allurements keep popping up here, there, everywhere, like that. So, whenever these allurements pop up, it's one of these three phases which become prominent and they keep alternating. So, the first phase is the first phase or first phase of polarity is hankering, dream states. So people are always hankering. Any allurement comes and there is hankering immediately, which is gender. Oh, I want it. And I can do anything to get it. Oh, I want it. And one is dreaming about it. So hankering is the first phase of alternating currents. And hankering is very much associated, its dualistic comrade is lamentation. Because there is duality in this world, so hankering, its dualistic comrade is lamentation. So the more one is on drives of hankering, the more one will have to drive on lanes of lamentation as well, because one comes free with the other. So therefore we see mostly people, the problem is they either keep dreaming about the future. Oh, my future should be like this, like that, and I should get a green card, Trump should go away from power, so somebody favorable should come up. The one is always dreaming. Or there is lamentation. Alas, I lost this. Alas, if only a little bit better, little bit one step, little bit favorable, little bit adjust, and then I would have been there. with my cherished goal. So either dream or scream. This is a dual comrade. The dream scream straight. So what is scream? So one is lamenting about the past. Oh, if only before JEE, those 2 days, if I would have studied that extra, instead of geophysics, I would have been in electronics. So like that. So people either want to live in the future or they want to live in the past. Interesting irony is hardly anybody is living in the present. So either people are crying about the past or they are dreaming about the future. This will happen, that will happen. So this carrying forward, dragging on the past and trying to pull in the present, the future, is what leaves a person no time to do anything in the present. And then present becomes past and becomes an add-on for lamentation. And the dream always remains a dream, only to become a scream. Because what is missing is the cream of Krishna consciousness. So I remember one time we were having summer holidays. I was studying here in KGP. So I had gone home in the summertime to spend time with parents, to meet parents. And I was seeing the first day, second day I was seeing my mother had cooked and we were taking prasad. And then she was sitting and not eating. And then I was taking, it was a nice prasad, so I was relishing like that. And then all of a sudden I noticed my mother was not eating and she was lost in some thought. And then after some time she started crying and sobbing. Oh, I got very much alarmed. So I said, what happened to you? Is everything alright? Is your health alright? What happened to you? And she started crying even more. Then I understood there's something went wrong somewhere. And then I was asking, no, let me know, please tell me what happened. So she started telling that there was a sort of get together, family get together and all that. So at one point in the family get together or something like that, my uncle, my father's brother, he shouted at my mother very badly. He shouted, my mother was telling that he shouted very badly, spoke very bad, rough words, very agitated, rough words, insensitive, rough words he had spoken. And she was very much shattered and heartbroken. So when I heard this, I got very tensed. And then I said, oh, I'm very sorry to hear this, but when did it happen? Because I was not knowing, I just came the previous day from KGP. So I thought maybe it happened the day before yesterday, or maybe, the day before yesterday. She said 6 months before. Yeah. She said 6 months before, actually. And then I was sorry for her that, okay, she has been ill-treated like this, and then I was trying to encourage her. Then I was always also feeling that 6 months is a very long time. And then I was requesting her, don't drag it. It is gone. It's finished and gone. The uncle is nowhere around. He's not speaking anything right now. He's okay. You should also be okay. He might have forgotten what he spoke also. Because probably he was drunk at that time. And because he was a little attached to drinking. So probably. So I was consoling my mother, and I was thinking that yes, it's very true. Actually, when we and that time I was thinking and evaluating that yes, there is no much point to drag on the past with us too much. You can dump it off because it is finished. It is gone. Why are we wasting our present for the sake of past, which was messed up? If it was messed up, so for a messed up portion of the past, why are we wasting our present? We can dump it off and get rid of it. And at that point of time, there is this injunction in the Shastras that a devotee should have a very cool nature. What do you mean by cool? One of the interesting aspects of cool nature is that one should have a nature of forgive and forget. And then I was remembering this injunction which is mentioned in the Shastras. Oh, one should forget and forgive. Forget and forgive. So I always used to understand, or I always used to consider that previously that uh, forgiveness is not that easy. And somebody comes and punches you, you say, okay, no problem, that's okay, that's all right. So it's not so easy. Okay, punch is all right, but suppose somebody is attached to something. Like suppose one has got a 1.5 lakh Apple laptop, another devotee comes and takes it, and it falls off from his hands or something happens, and then that laptop is completely crushed. Or somebody came, stepped on it, sat on it, something like that, it's finished. So it's not very easy to be that, okay, Prabhu, no problem. That's okay. To her is human. I'll get a new one. Not that easy to say that. It's not that easy. So it's not that easy. But then I understood. So then I was thinking that, oh, that's why forget and forgive is told. Because forgiveness is not easy. Only when you forget it, then forgiveness will be easy. And forgetfulness will not come automatic. We have to knowingly, willfully dump it off. Like, okay, it's gone, it's finished. I'm okay now. So when that happens, then only forgiveness can come about. Otherwise, forgiveness not so easy. So in this way, because of past and future, and because you see, because of this mess up of bringing and dragging and clinging on to the past and pulling in the future in the present, there is a complete lack of sense of temporal coordinates. So we really don't know what to react and to which signal to react to. So there is a present which is calling some action. Okay, exams are coming, 15 days only remaining. But there is a past. That okay, my uncle has done a lot of tortures on our family, suppose. I'm just giving an example. And then one is feeling very much, and there is a future, and there is a dream about it. So, and what is the dream? Maybe I will get a job in Google, California. And no, everybody can dream about it. There's nothing wrong in dream. I mean, it doesn't cost to dream, So there are no copyright issues. You can dream anything like that. So one can feel very happy. I'm sitting in Mountain View, and California, and I'm having a chill life, and so on. So one can dream about it. So when there is a dream, there is excitement, And when there is a past signal, then there is anger, frustration, hatred, revenge, and so on. And when there is present, it calls for some action. You may do something. Is it not? At the present. But because of this whole thing, whole mess up, there is a big problem in deciding or deciphering which signal to get it to, which signal to react to. And therefore, the third state of polarity in this alternating current of distraction is called as confusion. Confusion. So Janta is in full confusion all the time. No clarity. Added to this are further now that is very interesting, because you see the point is that now added to this are further layers of illusion. So illusion presents many further layers to us, and people spend a lot of time in illusion. Real life, REEL, real life. So now you see the point. When there is too much of a practice and synchronization with real life, then real life we cannot much react. Because in real life, suppose if you are seeing a very happy scene, then from inside the brain is telling, now one is feeling, now one may want to react in a very happy way, one may want to jump, dance, whatever, like that. But then the brain is giving the signal, real life. It's not real, it's real. It's illusion. It's illusion. It's real life. So let me not react. Now there is some sad scene, some torture has happened, violence has happened, some fratricide has happened, something, one may feel like reacting in a very sorry way. But then again the signal comes, the brain is giving the signal, it is real life. So one is again not reacting. So something high up is happening, one not reacting to it because one understands, actual nahi hai. It's just entertainment. Entertainment. If something bad is happening, then again one says, oh, this is just entertainment. So just enjoy violence, Just enjoy, Anyways, I am not involved. So in this way, we get so much practiced and toned up to real life. That means real life is real life is almost equivalent to, okay, don't much react, take it easy, So somebody is dying, take it easy. Something, real life. When the movie somebody is dying, people are quite normal, people are chill. They are eating Ruffles wafer, or Uncle Chips or something like that, and sipping Coke, like that. And in front on the screen, somebody is dying and they are eating the Ruffles. It's okay, like that, isn't it? That's what happens, right? So one gets so much tuned and accustomed to real life that when it comes to real life, person is all trained up, and person is trained up, and for no reaction. When it comes to real life, then also the same mode applies. So in real life also, if some big problem is happening, person say, oh, no reaction. Why? Because the whole system gets very much confused. When we bring in too many time planes or time zones in one side, the whole consciousness gets confused. What to react and how to react. That's why illusion is deadly, because it makes reality into an illusion. Sometimes I used to see some of my cousins are like that. Now this fellow has got a fail in the exam, not JEE exam, school exam. This fellow has got a fail in the exam. He is cool, bindas, no problem. And father is crying, mother is crying. Both are sitting on his head. Arey, you fool, you nonsense and all that, And he is completely chill. एंड ही सेइंग ठीक है ना, मुझे तो वैसे भी मार्क्स चाहिए नहीं थे, तुमको चाहिए थे, तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम नहीं मिलेगा. आई डिडंट गेट मार्क्स, आई डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम, यू हैव प्रॉब्लम, यू सफर, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू सफर. ना, ही इज कंप्लीटली चिल like that. Why is completely chill? Because so and the father is telling you nonsense, you muff, you won't get any job, what will you do, anguta chap. And father and then the son is chill, he says, what will I do, I will just enjoy, you know. He said, nonsense, for that you need money. And the son is saying, Arey, you have earned na so much money, where it will go, na. So like this, you see, this guy is very chill. Any problem is happening. So this is where you see there is this third state, confusion. What to do, what to react to. So some of the biggest of the problems in KGP, which Janta, the students here confound. आज 10 बजे prof की class है, जाना है कि नहीं? There is confusion, It's a big problem statement, Many times it is irresolvable, वो सोचते सोचते क्लास का टाइम खत्म हो जाता है. Then somebody says, अब सोचने से कोई फायदा नहीं. क्यों? Already अब 20 मिनट हो गया है. Late. Now going also no use. Like that. So this what happens. And when KGP is on, if you go around 6 p.m., you will see everybody is in a state of confusion. So there is a big problem which is haunting. $1 million problem which is haunting them. What is the problem? Haunting, daunting problem. अभी क्या करना है? What should I do now? Ray, what should I do now? And everybody is scratching their head. अभी क्या करें? Shall we go for a jogging? Shall we go for a walk? Shall we do parikrama of the girls' hostel? Shall we try some luck somewhere out there? Shall we watch a movie? Shall we go to the canteen? Shall we go to some restaurant? There are 24 restaurants. Which one? If at all someone, whom to call, what to do. And that problem becomes so intense. No solution. People are scratching. Heat is coming out. Fumes are coming out of their existence. These are JE qualified candidates. Not able to answer this big deal question. What should I do now? Like that. And then I used to see many people, they would get so much taxed up, burnt up, saturated, trying to evaluate the possibilities and analyze the possibilities, and the head would be reeling and the steam would be coming out, and people say, अरे बहुत हो गया है ना, सो जाते हैं, सो के उठ के सोचेंगे, सो के उठ के डिनर लेके फिर सोचेंगे, है ना. Like that. So you see, this is the third state of polarity, the confusion. And sure enough, Srila Prabhupada explains this particular state in Srila Prabhupada explains this in Bhagavad Gita 2.7 purport, when Srila Prabhupada is explaining that everything in this material world is a source of perplexity for everyone. So when I read that, I was very inspired. I said, wow, what an ultimate diagnosis. It's an absolute diagnosis. That is where everybody is lost into. Confusion, perplexity. And then Srila Prabhupada explained, therefore, it behooves an intelligent person to approach a bona fide spiritual master and take guidance. That can make matters perfect. Therefore, elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that one who has got connection to a bona fide spiritual master, such a person is very, very fortunate. Why? Because one can save, in this situation and predicament, one can save oneself from this polarity of confusion. So therefore, we will see on a materialistic ground, people are simply running behind time, and time is always out of their hands. But people are always running out of time, because why? When time is there in the hand, then they are not catching time, but they are surrendering to distractions. That's what happens. So this three-phase polarity of hankering, lamentation, and confusion, this current puts a person into a perpetual state of distraction. So much so that many times life gets short-circuited. Here I see, so people are, so many times Janta is in a gala mood, and there is one particular point of time they get an awakening. And there's only one particular point of time they get awakening. This point of time is the 10th semester beginning. And they get awakening. Hey, पता है क्या? अरे क्या हो गया? बहुत सीरियस है. क्या है? पास आउट होने वाले हैं. They said, अरे 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 अरे, ना पास आउट होने वाले हैं, ना? और भी है क्या? प्लेसमेंट आ रहा है. कितनी बार बोला था, पिछले साल से बोल रहा था पढ़ना चालू करते हैं, मेरे पास करना ही वाला था, अभी ना अभी क्या करें ना. People I have seen before this placement season, fourth years, fifth years, crying tears that if at all I should have got up from sleep 6 months back, I would have got a plus 6 lakhs top up in my salary. Now I'm only getting 6, at least I would have got a 12, like that. And some people are not even getting 6, you know. So like that. So the now Bhagavatam explained the seed. Time is Krishna. To be able to make the best out of time requires to take shelter of the time factor. Requires to take shelter of Krishna. So for a devotee of the Lord who is very much focused on taking shelter of Krishna, time is a very great blessing, or time offers a very great blessing. But for a materialistic, atheistic person, time time is like the harsh alarm which wakes a person up, shakes a person up from his sweet dream delirium. That delirium state of sweet dreams. Oh, life is so nice, I am so nice, ना. And then somebody comes and says, पता है क्या हो गया? अरे क्या हो गया है ना? Don't be kebab में हड्डी. I am enjoying my sweet dream. They say नहीं, तू फेल हो गया है. Now keep dreaming, बस इतना ही बताना था. Like that. So you see the point. The time comes in terms of the dream bubble buster, and that's quite harsh, and that's not very sweet. The dream is very sweet, but the bursting of the dream is not sweet, So like that. So people remain in their own dream, and in fact, if you see, Falsiga also create the situation of a dream. So, person may be in a dream thinking that everything is all right, I'm at the top of the world, everything is rocking, yo-yo, and all that. Now, a sudden dream may burst. Like a person who is thinking, I'm contributing to my company very nicely. I'm such an asset to my company. I'm such a powerful professional. And when we're dreaming like this, all of a sudden you may get a notification and you are thrown off of job. Sorry, you are very good, but we have somehow landed up losses, can't bear you up. All the best. Like that. So the time, we need to take shelter of time. Therefore, we will see for a materialistic person, everything manifests in a very topsy-turvy way. Whereas for a sincere and serious devotee of the Lord, everything manifests in a very clear and smooth manner. Very clear and smooth manner. Whereas the non-devotees, they get their basic needs in a very ugly and miserable way, suffocating, stifling. But a devotee gets the basic needs in a very sweet, easy, and clean way. Why? Because one is taking shelter of the time factor. So the ground for a materialist is not at all easy. It is a materialist who is running on sand, not a devotee of the Lord. For a sincere and serious devotee, not running on sand. Sincere and serious devotee just guiding in ice skating, no friction. Very smoothly one can glide on. Whereas running on sand, so much energy. And a little bit, one is tired. Like you see, semester opens, in 1 week people get tired. अरे बहुत हो गया है ना क्या चल रहा है ना सर गर्म कर रहे हैं ना isn't that कब खत्म होगा अभी तो चालू हुआ है isn't that right? So this is how it is actually. Therefore, we will see that actually it is spiritual life or Krishna, no, spiritual consciousness, the Krishna consciousness is the best drive. All other drives are very nasty drives, rather risky drives also. So people are focused about action. See, material life also talks about actions. Spiritual life also entails ordinary actions. So spiritual life is extraordinary because it makes not that we start doing some Herculean tasks, that we become some Superman, some Superman, Batman, something like that, trying to save people, this, that, something like that. No, we remain as what we are. But what change happens is that the ordinary activities are done in an extraordinary spirit, and therefore the experience from ordinary activities is extraordinary. So, even a simple and ordinary activity for a devotee is very relishing, just like taking prasad. For a devotee, even an activity of taking prasad is very relishing. So one is taking prasad, one is hearing kirtans, Hari Bol, Hari Krishna, one is hearing Krishna book, one is hearing Chaitanya Bhagavad. It is so relishable, and then one is a devotee is serving, one is very grateful, okay, and one is very conscious. Oh, these devotees, they struggled so hard, they have made something, very nice for me, So in that way, there is this loving reciprocation which is happening. For non-devotee, the same thing is not that relishable. It's very dry. The person wants to chill out, he has gone to a restaurant. But as soon as he has gone to a restaurant, he is seeing the restaurant is houseful. They are saying, okay, wait karna padega. Kitna? 1 ghanta. So person is waiting there. After 1 hour, this fellow comes to take the order. Now you get a seat after 1 hour. And then this fellow comes to take the order. Then he says, okay, I'll take 20 minutes. But till 40 minutes, nobody has come. It's not coming only, it's not coming, We're just watching, everybody is eating, here, there, and one is not getting anything. So then one goes and bangs this fellow up, hey, where is the order and this and that. Finally, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, this fellow comes, and then one is saying, oh, finally I'll get what I wanted to eat, like that. But one puts up the first morsel, one realizes, oh, salt is too much, or chili is too much, immediately the nose is gone, something like that. Or it's not hot enough, or it is something, So material world is driven by the motivators of 3 motivators. Any action in the material realm or the material plane is motivated by three motivators. Which are those? Hmm? Uh, he's saying money. Okay. Uh, Money is okay, but money is not a prime factorial motivator. I am looking for prime factors. Principally, what are the motivators of action? Ah, very good. Haribol. Lust, anger, and greed. What is that? Trividham Dharam Narkishu. Ah, yeah. 1621. 1621. Let's try to recite that. The divine and demoniac nature. Text 21. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give up these, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Trividham narakasyeidam dwaram nashanamaatmanah kama krodhastatha lobha tasmad etatrayam tyajet. In the material world, lust, anger, and greed, they are the three motivators of action. And therefore, sometimes what happens is that when sometimes students newly they have come to Krishna consciousness and they come and say, Prabhu, I have been practicing Krishna consciousness. It's okay, very nice, you're practicing Krishna consciousness, we're very thankful, all the best. They said, no, that is not the point. I said, okay, well, what is the point? They said, the point is, Prabhu, now we are not getting any kick. Any kick for studies. I said, okay, why? Because we become devotees now. So one cannot be so much lusty. One cannot be so much greedy. So previously the kick for study was, hey, I will prove myself. In the director's office roll of honor, my name will be there. I had that motivation when I was in school, So like that, So, but indeed in the principal office, my name got inscribed in the roll of honor. It's still there, So, 2001 topper of St. Joseph's Academy, Still there. My father saw it, I never saw it, So I never went back to school, I was passing out. But you see, this is a motivator. And then that motivation is gone. Abhi, no lust, no. Like I remember my father was giving me a motivation when I was going for this JE counseling in Delhi, Hosco's campus society. We were going. So my rank was 717, 717 at time. So when we were returning back, my father was telling, see, now you have to work really hard. Then I said, okay, anyways I'll work hard. Because I had different motivations. I shared you about those motivations of doing some help and all that to society. So I had different motivations. I said, anyways I'll work hard, don't worry. He said, no, you have to really work hard. I said, okay, I'll try my best. He said, no, you have to really, really work hard. So he was going on, he was in his mood, like that. And then he was telling me he started giving me some reasons. And he said, you know what? And I said, okay, what? So he said, if you really work hard, you will get a very good job. You have a lot of money. And then you will get a very beautiful wife. And I was staring at my father. What logic is this? This is a motivator or a spoiler? But you see, in the material world, these are the kind of motivators which people have. It's lust, it's greed. And when it takes a reverse polarity, it's anger, it's hatred. Love story, hate story. Both are very intense. Is it not? Both involve violence. Love story, hate story. Both involve madness. Both involve frenzy. So both are mad story. And because both are mad story, ultimately both are sad story. So these are material motivators of action. And as long as we submit and allow these motivators to act in our hearts and in our lives are always going to be out of control. Always everything will be exploding. There is no question of lifestyle management. When we take the reins of our life in our own hands, the question of management comes into picture. Ready to do some management, you need to have some control also. Therefore, self-management starts from self-control. As long as we are Sharnagat, sold out, surrendered devotees of lust, anger and greed. देखो मटेरियल वर्ल्ड के डेटीज तीन इसलिए 3 modes, because 3 controllers, 3-phase polarity, triple degree illusion, 3 controllers: lust, anger and greed. That is why the Lord came, the Lord is one, and the Lord took 2 forms, and then the Lord took 3 forms. Shri Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maharani ki to counter the 3-phase controllers of this material world. भगवान बोले, अरे इन लोगों को एक मैनिफेस्टेशन में समझ में नहीं आता है, 3 मैनिफेस्टेशन दिखाने पड़ेंगे. And Sudarshan Maharaj is also there. It's 4 like that. So Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, the 3 of them came to counter our 3 controllerships, to give an alternative to our 3 controllers: lust, anger and greed. And therefore Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also didn't come again alone. He manifested in the form of Panchatattva. It's 5 punch. A shirt is called as Panchatattva. It's a solid punch. Such a punch will knock us off the controllership of. So we take shelter of Lord Chaitanya, but Lord Chaitanya's mercy comes in the form of this elevating transcendental wave, which can take us off, knock us off from these false, miserable controllers of lust, anger and greed. And so because this lust, anger, greed lead to devastation, lead to madness, lead to and the other point is that this madness is craziness, and because of craziness one goes to extremes, and because of extremes there are accidents. So person in the drive of greed, one doesn't understand anything. One says, no, only I want money, I want money, I want money. I want to go to Y Combinator, I want to become $1 billion, unicorn, startup and this and that. And then one day one realizes that one has got half a dozen chronic diseases. This has burnt up his body like anything. Or one may realize that wife and children have gone. They've only sent him a notice for 1 lakh per month ransom, maintenance, because they had no time for it, like that. So it leads to very bad accident. Similarly, anger. In anger, one destroys oneself, destroys the target on whom that anger is being unleashed, and destroys anybody who comes in between also. And similarly, lust. But another thing you can observe is that lust, anger, and greed, it is not easy to work on these grounds also. These grounds are very difficult grounds. Why? Because, say, a person is lusty. Now, one is lusty towards one thing. And while pursuing the object of lust, if another thing pops up, immediately lust transfers. You know? Immediately lust transfers. Like you see, Surpanaka, for example, in Sri Ramayana. Now, Surpanaka was inherently lusty. I mean, like that. And so Lanka, she had good amount of avenues for her, carnal and sensual satisfaction. So she was not as such searching for some kick and thrill and all that. She was just roaming around. And just roaming around, she came to see Ram. Immediately she saw Ram. Her lust got diverted. So in Lanka, she might have had enough engagements. Not that Lanka, she was starving. There was drought. There was nobody, to satisfy her. Must be having a busy carnal life, like that. But then she saw Lord Ram, then she's focused on Ram, and then she's approaching and running behind Ram. The Lord Ram said, no, please forgive me. I am Eka Patni Vrata, I already have a wife. So I won't be able to fulfill your needs because I already, there's no vacancy, So maybe you can try Lakshman. He, I think, has, maybe you can try him, check with him, So maybe, he can be an option. So then she said, one more option is there. No problem. Immediately she looked at Lakshman and she got attracted there. Now she's running after Lakshman. And Lord Lakshman had a different style. So Lord Lakshman is finding her, this lady is not leaving me, she's running behind me like anything. And she said, no. I am so much attracted to you, so much attached to you and all that. So you see, this is the problem with lust. Now, lust is always like a prostitute. There's no kind of steadiness and chastity in lust. Is it not? Therefore, today's age we see there is makeup, there is breakup. Makeup, breakup, So, instant crush, instant divorce. Yeah, they're planning murders and all that. Very dangerous. Nowadays to marry, very dangerous. Really don't know what is going to happen. Like that. To marry, very dangerous. Because you don't know, the other fellow may be looking very innocent. They may just kill you. Finish. And your body may not get burnt also. It may just rot in the under the tiles of the toilet or under the commode or something like that. Yeah. So very dangerous. After marriage also. 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years down the marriage. So, what kind of world we are living in? Very dangerous, is it not? Other than Krishna, very difficult to trust anyone. Because, so see, this is the problem with lust. See, the ground of lust is not easy. Because every now and then anything new pops up and then that appears bhalo, and then another thing appears bhalo, another thing appears. So ultimately what you are achieving? Nothing. So the drive of lust is like that. Similarly, we see in colleges so much, Every new year admission season happens, people change their girlfriends. So some new versions are visible, new options are visible, so better version and all that, so on and so forth, like that. So this is the nasty culture which we are living in. Similarly, anger. Again, anger. See, anger has anger shuts off intelligence. Bhagavad Gita only speaks about that. Krodho bhavati sammohat. Sammohat smriti vidmama. Smriti brahmasat buddhinasho pranashati. So person is angry, any trigger the person is ready to blast. Any trigger the person is ready to blast. Person may be angry on the boss. Now one has come and one is thinking, I will murder this boss, I will cut his body into 10,000 pieces, and not a trace of one piece will be visible to anyone, will be found by anyone. And like this, the small son of this fellow will come in front and all that, giving him some laddu piece or something what he has got to come and share, and this fellow is in that note, and he is in that note and all that. He sees his son is bringing laddu and I'll give a tight slap to the son. This poor fellow, with the laddu is fallen off, he's bleeding and all that, So people become, this anger. The ground of anger is not easy because one is completely blind. That's why it's not easy. Run? Where will you run? You're completely blind. Every here and there one banks. And similarly, greed is not easy. So greed is like a constant pull. Suppose, see, you're already running. Now suppose you're already running. Now you're running, and then you are bound by rope, and somebody is also pulling you with the rope. So somebody is pulling and you are running, and you are running and somebody is pulling, and if the pull is increasing. Now, greed means pull increasing. Now pull is increasing, you will try to increase, run faster, because otherwise it gives instability. You have to catch up with the pull, no? And the pull is again increasing further and again increasing. So the greed goes on increasing. Now the pull is again increasing, and then what is happening that one will not be able to catch up. So one will disbalance, one will fall. Now one will be dragged on the road, bleeding, whole body bleeding. Is it not? That's what is going to happen. That's what greed leads one to. So these are therefore Trividam Dwaram Narakasya. So what is a good motivator then? A good motivator is motivation of service to Krishna. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhukshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidhati. There is only one thing which can satisfy the soul completely, and that is called as the topmost of all religions. And what is that? Yato bhakti radhukshaje. That is service to their lordships. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Maharaj. Yeah, there's 1.2.6. Bhagavatam. Two 2.6, right? 1.2.6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhukshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidhati. Shall we see the translation? The supreme occupation dharma for all the humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service should be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So the Bhagavatam here is also describing that this devotional service, we should gear up. But the more we gear up, So the more we gear, the more there will be cheer and happiness. Yeah. And to what level one should gear up? To unmotivated. Not that okay, Krishna, I'm chanting 16 rounds, देखो लेकिन 9 point दिलाना, कम मत करना. Because I'm chanting 16, you know. मैं rounds नहीं करूँ, कम करूँगा, आप CG और salary कम मत करना बस. So that is motivated devotional service. Motivated devotional service is also auspicious. That is fine. You know, Krishna is always very merciful and he'll give his blessings, no problem. But when it is unmotivated, the blessings are million times. The experience of happiness is million times. See, Krishna wants to give an ocean. And when we are having material desires and material demand, then we are telling Krishna, ठीक है, तुमको जितना देना था वो उससे मुझे मतलब नहीं, मुझे इतना ही चाहिए, बस ये कंटेनर दे दो. कृष्ण से अरे मैं ओशन दे रहा था, बेवकूफ कंटेनर मांग रहा है, ठीक है. एक कंटेनर. So, and if you tell Krishna, Krishna, आपको जो देना है दे दो, then you see what happens. Life becomes ecstatically ecstatic. That's what. So, yeah, Sudama didn't ask. Krishna gave in enormous. No. That way. And second, uninterrupted. Uninterrupted. So therefore, many devotees who come new to Krishna consciousness, they face problem because if they are driving on again, the lust, anger, greed still, then it's the same misery experience still. And if one has given up the material motivators but not yet installed the spiritual motivator, the motivator of let me do service in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, let all my activities be preaching to the world that yes, Krishna consciousness is the best algorithm of life. So if one has not installed the spiritual motivation, then one will be in a state of dullness and paralysis. कि पुराना मोटिवेटर अभी इतना भक्ति कर लिया कि पुराना मोटिवेटर आ नहीं रहा है. नया and the actual motivator which we are supposed to install, that we have not yet installed. तो माला इतना कर लिया है कि लस्ट, एंगर, ग्रीड थोड़ा शांत है फॉर द टाइम बीइंग, आता है फिर रावण की तरह दोबारा से. इट्स नॉट दैट इट्स गॉन, फिर से आता है रावण के हेड की तरह बूम करके. बट ओके, इफ इट इज पीसफुल और इफ इट इज सबड्यूड फॉर द टाइम बीइंग and the bhakti is not so intense that the spiritual motivator of service to Krishna and the acharyas appeal and prayer to the acharyas, the shanagati to the acharyas through one's actions, that is not yet installed. So one will be in a state of paralysis. So therefore one of the crux of lifestyle management is intensification of spiritual activity. Because spiritual life follows one basic matrix. What is that matrix? The more intense we are, the easier it is going to be. And the more diluted and dhila we are, the more difficult it is going to be. This is line on stone fundamental principle of spiritual science. So if a person remains on one round, he will find greatest difficulty. Why? एक माला नहीं घूमेगा उससे, घूमेगा ही नहीं, because he's only on one round, like that. Whereas for devotees, they can very easily complete 16 rounds before 7:30. Many people wake up at 9:30, 11:30, like that. So you see the point. And we can see ourselves also when we are in association of devotees, 16 rounds, very easy. But when we go alone, we have to struggle. It's going to be, then the ground is not ice skating. I have to struggle a bit, or struggle a good amount, like that. Again, we come back in the association. It is like ice skating, is it not? So this is the point. The more intense the bhakti, the easier it is. And the less intense or the more diluted, the more difficult it's going to be. So many times people say, "अरे मेरी life में कुछ भी ठीक नहीं हो रहा है. I am a pious soul, मैं भगवान का, धर्म का सब कुछ मानता हूं, फिर मेरे लाइफ में क्यों गड़बड़ हो रहा है? गड़बड़ इसलिए हो रहा है कि आपका गियर जो है वो फर्स्ट गियर ही है. सो माय डियर सर, इंक्रीज द गियर. That is the point. So therefore we see, that is why we see that on a material note, there is no question of everything is exploding, everything is topsy-turvy, everything is blasting. You know, by the way, management gurus talk about that uh, for real fulfillment in life, or for real success, to achieve real success, meaning, fulfillment in life, there are four kinds of needs which need to be fulfilled. Four kinds of needs have to be fulfilled. Every individual has these four kinds of needs. And if these needs are not fulfilled, one will remain empty, lopsided, like a car without one wheel, two wheel. Will it run? Yeah. It will topple off. Or it won't move. Or it was moving, one wheel goes off, it will topple off. Is it not? So, in the same way, if any of these pillars and needs are not fulfilled properly, nicely, then it leads to a lot of problem. So, what are these needs? The first need management gurus talk about is physical need. They say we all have physical need. So, physical need is very much related to good health, good sleep, good food, doing some yoga, some meditation, some regularity in lifestyle. That's what the physical needs are. Now, actually, the very interesting thing in this world is that that you can see a complete 180-degree panoramic contrast between a devotee life and a materialistic person's life. Therefore, every pastime also we see there is such a nice contrast. Like say seventh canto, Lord Narasimha pastime. So we see how wonderful is the life and how sweet is the life of a devotee, Prahlad. Although Prahlad is not very powerful, he is not very strong, he doesn't have six peg, eight peg, what is that? So he doesn't have all those things, biceps, triceps, pentaceps, octaceps, and all that. He doesn't have any of those things. He doesn't have siddhis, he doesn't have powers, but he surrendered to Krishna. And on the other hand, we see the contrast guy, the Hiranyakashipu, like that. Similarly, we see Pandavas, we see Kauravas. Similarly, in this material world, we see both sides, like that. Now, in the material world, how do these physical needs get satisfied? That is something to be that is something which needs to be understood. So then the need to eat, the need to sleep, and so on. How do these needs get satisfied? So in KGP we see it's very common. Most of the Janta does not take breakfast because they don't get up on time. So they don't get up on time. So if it is a 10 o'clock class, they get up at 9:50, and they only have time to catch their bag and all that, along with their brush. No time to brush also, So 1 o'clock and they come back. Then in the mess wash basin they are brushing so that they can go and eat, like that. This is how life is. So the needs of eating, how do they get satisfied? Corporate life is even more enhanced, advanced. What is the advancement? So people get up. As soon as they get up, before they can go for bathing, they have to open the laptop because some client is there. They have to be on the call. Yes, we'll do it. We'll set it right. and this guy is wearing the pant, and okay, we'll set it right. Videos of, like that. And somehow the other with the laptop, on one hand there is a laptop, and he's rushing to his car, and hey, I need to head on, already a client is there, and another meeting is there, things are lined up, there's so many deadlines and so much of pressure, like that. So one hand, this guy, he's one hand is a laptop, another hand there is a sandwich, breakfast, like that. I remember I was in Sapien, so I would see people, for their lunch, they would bring tiffins, and the very size of their tiffin was very ridiculous to me. The tiffin would be this size, this big, this big, this big. ये टिफिन है या अचार की डब्बी? This size would be their tiffin. Something round, something heart shaped and all that. उसके अंदर रहेगा एक, कभी कभी गलती से 2 पराठे, वो थोड़ा सा अचार या कुछ पिद्दू सा, 1 स्पून 2 स्पून सब्जी, ऐसे है ना, उसी के अंदर है ना, like that. तो this fellow, by the time I would speak महाप्रसाद, इसका खत्म हो जाता था, है ना. तो मैं अपना सैयद नाम मृतपा और राधा कृष्ण को उनको हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, देखा तो इसको खत्म हो गया. नहीं, अरे कहाँ चले? बोले हो गया. इनको बैठो, अभी तो चालू किया. अभी तो बातचीत करते हैं थोड़ा, कृष्ण कथा करते हैं थोड़ा, है ना. अभी मेन बात तो किया नहीं, तो वार्म अप भी चल रहा था मेरा. Like that. So this guy like that, and I would say, बस इतना ही है तुम्हारा, no? I'll tell you my tiffins, I was in Bangalore, so I used to have 3 tiffins, airtight, so like that, so one tiffin, only rice. That tiffin was this big, this, and this much thickness, like that. So because it used to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything, so why? Because my company was the coolest company. I told about the cool algorithms of work life a little before, so I'll not touch on that thread. Today I'm talking about a different thread. So because of their mercy, I mean the mercy of modern day Gen Z lifestyle, cool, cool software lifestyle, so is to leave at 6:50 a.m. and come back at 11:40 p.m. and so breakfast. So after coming back, I would not want to waste time. So therefore, I would take dinner in the bus while coming. So I would pack in the early morning only, 6 o'clock. So it had breakfast, lunch, dinner, all 3. So it was this big, this thick, like that, airtight. And another one was also good enough, and it had only sabji prasad. And the third one only had dal prasad, like that, And when I would open my tiffin, the people will get a shock. They say, hey, 6 लोगों का है क्या? मैं कहा नहीं, मेरा है, exclusively, share भी नहीं करूँगा, समझे क्या, है ना? चाहिए तो प्रोग्राम के लिए आना, ऐसे नहीं दूंगा, ठेंगा, like that. So that way, so I would, so people will get a shock, and sometimes I would tell them, देखो मैं क्या है, खाते पीते घर से आया हूँ. Lord Jagannath's family is a eating family, there's no problem. So people, their needs of food are very minimal. So this is how their needs are fulfilled. The needs of eating. One time, so I got introduced to this company culture. In this company culture, these guys, what they will do is that they would try to so these guys, what they would do is that now see, there is a big problem in corporate life. You know what is the problem? The problem is that you're running behind time, because company, corporate life, and this and all, it's very cool, how cool we discussed before already. So because it is so ecstatically cool, so therefore a person is running out of time, and now Uh, Now what happens is that now to cook, there's no time because early morning one has to rush, and then one comes late night. When to cook? So and to cook requires physical energy, mental energy, some level of satoguna, some level of happiness and enthusiasm, which people have a lot of lack, and therefore people are not very much wanting to cook. Now the only option is restaurant, and then you are dying. Means you are dire hungry. You want to eat up everything. So one goes to the restaurant and they want to eat up the whole restaurant along with the the cook. I mean that that may be the So one is really really hungry. But then one goes, then one sees one small plate of say noodles prasad. Not it is not prasad. It is noodles. One small plate of noodles. 200 rupees, 300 rupees. Oh, itna sa, So when we make chowmin prasad here like that, if you want to follow restaurant metrics, we may have to make it 10 times. Because our devotees eat easily 10 times that. So everything is 200 rupees, 300 rupees, like that. So even if you take a second serving, it becomes 600 budget. If you take a third serving, it is 1000 budget. And actually, as per the, from our devotees' perspective, one may go and take 10 servings. Because I am not joking. When we make idli prasad, our devotees take minimum 12, 18, 24, at least 12. 12 idli prasad, sambar, one chutney, and then they feel, abhi kuch life mein dam aaya, like that. One plate idli is 120, 150 rupees. Two idlis in the outside world. Yeah, but then roadside you may pay 30 rupees, but then you get food poisoning and then you have to pay 10,000 rupees to come back. So it's very costly. Don't think roadside is not costly. You know? Don't think roadside is not costly. And most of these companies, they are on what do you call it, software parks. Software park, thousands of people, very elite. McDonald's and all brand restaurants and all that. Nothing is below 100, 200 and all that. So person is forced not to eat. वो बेचारा इतना पिद्दी सा खा के सेटिस्फाई हो जाएगा. कोई बोलेगा और चाहिए, ऑर्डर करो, है ना, उसको पता है बिल तो मुझे ही देना होगा. नहीं नहीं, आई एम सेटिस्फाइड. Like that. So person cannot even eat, and therefore we'll see the modern day people, they don't know how to eat also properly, and they don't know anything. This is exactly how it is. And now coming to devotional service, one can really relish what is called as eating. And there is nice prasad you serve and you take this unlimited serving, like that. So when we go to restaurants, we face a tough time, and sometimes when we ask for even devotee caterings, then they apply the restaurant metrics. We face a very tough time. Why? Because they will say restaurant metrics means what, 300 rupees plate, 500 rupees plate, 1000 rupees plate. Sorry, 1000 rupees. It is too much, is it not? Like that, or they will fix the quantity, but that quantity is so small. Like sometimes some of the Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Shyama Sundar Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Shri Nitai Chand Gaur Chand Bhagwan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So I remember one time we were in Sapient. So it was 11:20 p.m. in the company, and I was just about to leave. I was cool only, but the team in which I was sitting, they were on a deadline. So from morning 7 a.m. they were just tuck 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 tuck, everybody, this is not working, that is not working, this is blast up, that is blast out and all that, and they were doing it and all that. Fumes were coming out of the whole existence. That whole the whole hall was in fumes, like that. 11:20 p.m. one guy, and he's very irritated. He's very irritated, and then he's slamming this guy. He's slamming the table, and then he's shouting. He's not able to tolerate. He's saying, "Why am I feeling so much pain? There's so much problem, not able to focus. What's wrong? And then when he spoke that, some others could hear it. And then some others said, yes, I'm also feeling. I'm also feeling. Why are we feeling pain? Then somebody is asking a question. Did we not take dinner? And then everybody is thinking, hey, dinner nahi liya kya? Hey, So for a moment, the whole team, 100 people are there in the team, mind it, And then they are thinking, did we not take dinner? Did we not take dinner? लिया था नहीं लिया था रियली किसी ने बोला भी नहीं क्या हुआ ये हुआ वो हुआ like that. After a long time of scratching the head, somebody comes up with a eureka. Somebody says शायद नहीं लिया. Oh, नहीं लिया. ये नहीं scratching. लिया नहीं लिया. And then one guy, after good long time, one guy comes up with a solution. He says मुझे लग रहा है lunch भी नहीं लिया है. And then everybody is getting a eureka, awakening. हाँ, सही बात है. लंच ही नहीं लिया आज, लंच ही नहीं लिया, केवल सुबह 8 बजे ब्रेकफास्ट किया था, like that. लंच भी नहीं लिया. By this time it's 11:40 p.m. Don't ask me what I was doing in the company at that hour. I was not on a deadline. At least that much I can tell you. So I happened to be there that day. So like that. And 11:40, and then they are saying, oh, तभी दर्द हो रहा है. तभी मैं सोचूं, किक क्यों नहीं आ रहा है काम में, किक क्यों नहीं आ रहा है, स्पीड, टेम्पो क्यों नहीं आ रहा है, वगैरह वगैरह. And everybody is making their conclusions and all that. And then say, अब क्या करें? And then say, okay, चलो डोमिनोज से पिज्जा ऑर्डर किया फिर सबने. चलो अभी पिज्जा खाएंगे, फिर काम पे लगेंगे और फिर घर जाएंगे जब जाना होगा तो. So now they are ordering pizza. Now another they order the pizza, and so the delivery to be delivered in 20 minutes. That's the अभी 40 minutes हो गया, आ नहीं रहा है, and everybody is calling and abusing this guy, अरे तुम्हारा सत्यानाश हो, ये हो वो हो, आ क्यों नहीं रहे तुम, पोर गैस चली, मैं क्या करूं. बैंगलोर में 11 बजे भी ट्रैफिक रहता है, अभी क्या करें रात के. So and everybody frustrated, and after that what happened? Unfortunately I was not there to see that. I got reminded a morning program bhi karna hai. Enough for funny enjoyment. Let's go back now. So I went back. I did not see what happened further. So see, this is how the needs are fulfilled. Eating needs, sleeping needs. My cool company, my sleeping needs were only fulfilled in great style. 3 hours in yoga. That was the good part of it. 1.5 hours travel to the company, 1.5 hours travel back from the company. And that was cool company. So just imagine in a hard company or in a messed up company how the schedules will be. So one of our devotees, he was a doctor. So he was telling me one day, he said, Prabhu, one very strange patient came to me, and then he started laughing, ha ha ha. क्या है, you're laughing yourself only, कम से कम बात बताओ, हम भी हंस देंगे, उस पे क्या है. बोले तुम्हारे सॉफ्टवेयर गाइस ऐसे ही होते हैं. मैंने कहा प्रभु, this is bad, you are blaming software guys, poor fellows, what's wrong? He said, I met a software guy. तुम्हारे software वाले कैसे रहते हैं weird, ha ha ha. He was laughing, So, and what happened to the software guy? This was a big manager. So this software guy, he had come, so what problem was? So this software guy, his hand, so his hand was like this. His hand will go up till this point. From like this, it would go up till this point. Beyond this, the hand will not go. It won't go. It was frozen. बस इतना ही था उनका degrees of freedom, So he had come to the doctor कि doctor a degree of freedom कैसे बढ़ाएं? The hand is not going, it's not going beyond it, है ना? It's not going beyond it. So big problem. So this devotee doctor, he was laughing, He said, what funny, And I said, अरे उसमें funny क्या है? उसको अच्छे से दवाई देना था, आपको इलाज करना था. बोले ठीक है, वो सब ठीक है. But the funny thing is, he said, the funny thing is, I asked him a question. मैंने कहा अच्छा. So what question he asked him? This doctor, he was a devotee doctor. So he asked him a question. So it was very funny. So he said, आपने भाई साहब ये बताओ कि लास्ट टाइम आपने ऐसा हाथ करके उठाते हैं ना लोग, है ना, ऐसा हाथ करके आपने पहले कब उठाया? When did you raise your hand like this before? This guy started evaluating. इसे थोड़ा टाइम चाहिए, है ना, कुछ तो चालू कर रहा था ना, and then he was scratching his head. He was wondering, उसको याद ही नहीं आ रहा था. And after a long time he came to the conclusion, उसका processor, उसका for loop थोड़ा end criteria पे आया, exit loop पे, है ना, like that, and he got an answer, subroutine से बाहर आया वो अपने, है ना. And then he said, शायद 2 साल पहले, इसीलिए तो जाम हो गया. So 2 years is the last time this person consciously raised his hand, means he felt a need for raising the hand and he raised his hand. And after that he would have tried recently and his hand was not going up, and therefore he came to the doctor कि doctor क्या हो गया ये, है ना, like that. So this is how material life is. Person becomes like this. See, devotee life is very nice, even from a physical point of view. There is very nice prasad all the time. See, every program ends up with prasad. So even if lecture is torture, prasad is nice. Is it not? All's well that ends well. Is it not? So devotee life very nice in that sense, from a physical point of view also. And we are not just sitting, we are not just white collar professionals sitting, We have aartis, we have kirtans, Morning program by default basic exercise happens. Is it not? If you are enthusiastic. If somebody is glued to the wall, very much, okay, Hari Bol, then maybe not so much. But if one is enthusiastic and serious, a lot of exercise happens in the, so every day we are doing Hari Bol. We will not land up into this problem. Hey, utna hi raha hai. This kind of a disease. Is it not? Like that. So this is how we can see. And devotee lifestyle all about, early to sleep, early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, wise. Materialistic life, it's very funny. I mean, very unfortunate also. Because, see, the point is that who is working in what industry, you can very easily get to know from their health. Just by looking at them, we can get to know. So if somebody is having spondylitis, arthritis, spondylosis, arthrosis, osteosis, scoliosis, तुरंत बताने का अरे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर है ना. Anybody having vision problems, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर है ना, वो घुसा रहता है ना लैपटॉप पे, है ना, like that, है ना. Somebody is having digestion problem, वो क्या रहता है, वो कौन सा इन्फेक्शन रहता है, ये इंटेस्टाइन का इन्फेक्शन, वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, that bowel syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, and so any problem with the digestion, any problem with the intestines, irritable bowel syndrome it is called as, then that is then we have to understand ये manager है ना, ये किसी MNC में manager है ना, so a lot of stress he takes, that's why all these problems happen, है ना. So ये अच्छा पहचान है, जैसे डिवोटी का पहचान हो ना, तिलक है, कंटीमाला है, माने हरे कृष्णा है ना, तो वैसे ही बावल सिंड्रोम माने मैनेजर है ना. So vision problem, this kind of arthritis, spondylitis, like that, So अभी कोई obese है ना, मैं अंडरस्टैंड सीनियर है ना, न्यू इनटेक नहीं है, है ना, नॉट अ ट्रेनी फेलो, सीनियर मैन, वो बैठा रहता है लाला की तरह, तो इसलिए वन हैज बिकम लाइक अ काउच पोटैटो, है ना. So modern day lifestyle makes one into couch potato, couch potato. Raishambu uses this terminology, couch potato, very funny. You know? So one become like a couch potato, Humpty Dumpty, sat on his bench, like that. So these are the physical needs in the material world are fulfilled. When a devotee life, the physical needs are fulfilled very nicely. So, and there is not only joy in eating, there is joy in serving also. You know. So that's how devotional life is. And therefore the Shastras explain that when we accept prasad and when we serve prasad, by both the mutual love between the devotees increases. And therefore Srila Rupa Goswami Pad described this as symptoms of Priti Lakshanam. And then the relationship between the devotees is very intense and thick. That leads to more intensity of practice of Krishna consciousness. So that's very wonderful. The second kind of needs which management gurus talk about are social needs. The social needs. Social need is about being with friends, emotional exchange, being with friends, team spirit, team working, synergy. These are all aspects of social needs. These are all aspects of social needs. Now, how do these social needs get satisfied in a materialistic life, in a hostile life, in a non-devotee circle? So I remember in KGP here, there is ragging in the second year. First year there is no ragging. In the second year there is ragging, full allowance officially. Means almost unofficially official, like that. Means everybody knows it, everybody is for it, but in pen and paper it is written no ragging. So that's how it is. This ragging, and this ragging is called by they used to call it as they call it as OP, orientation program. So orientation or disorientation, So that's how they. So the minimum of the things, the least you can say, the least harmful of the things which do happen on an everyday basis is what. They say, okay, the whole janta has to gather in the common room every day. You take your dinner at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. you gather. 8 p.m. is supposed to gather. The 6 p.m. classes only get over. Snacks, dinner, and then gather. Like that. So you take dinner and gather 8 p.m. So what they say no, we'll discuss various things. You'll get a lot of fundas. You get a lot of orientation, no? Orientation will happen. Different algorithms of orientation. So 8 p.m. Now everybody has gathered. So some guys are there, they are speaking about this subject matter, that subject matter, some blah 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 here, there, everything, some nonsense here, there. Sometimes they're joking about girls, sometimes they're speaking nonsense, sensual stuff and all that. By the way, every day has a schedule. That today what is supposed to happen. Like suppose one of the days some debate orientation is supposed to happen. So then the main guy who is supposed to drive that debate orientation, this guy will come at 11 o'clock. Till that time, they were just doing warm up. But everybody has to be there, attendance, compulsory. 11 o'clock, this guy comes up. Then he needs something to gear up. To start. Uska gaadi start, warm up, gear up, like that. 11:30, 11:40, he has got geared up. Like that. And then he's speaking about debating. Everybody has to speak something little. Then they are choosing, okay, who are having potentiality and all that. And then they will put them in the team for the inter-hall sock and cult. competitions like that. Basically, that is the motivation. But by the time it ends, it's 1 a.m. By the time it ends, it's 1 a.m. Now, the one में से ठीक है, एक बजे छोड़ दिया ना. So that's not the end of it. है ना? ये तो इवनिंग प्रोग्राम था, है ना? Then they say main तो मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम होता है. So then everyone is supposed to come for the morning program. You know? See, in our lifestyle, we only have morning program. You know? And evening program is not there. Only Saturday, Sundays we are having that also in VTW. That's it. You know? But there every day there was evening program, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Compulsory attendance. And if you don't come, they will come for VIP escort to the rooms. How? With NCC boots and hockey sticks. And they would bang the doors. Thar, thar, thar. And this effect was very much realized in the morning. Because morning reporting time is, in the basketball court, morning reporting time is 5 a.m. Compulsory attendance. Late nahi ho sakte. Like that. So you are late, then they will come to wake you up and take you up. Like that. You know? And they are coming with their VIP escort with the NCC boots and dhar, you know. And interestingly, the senior halls, their doors are also very cooperative with the, you know. So when they are banging, sometimes the whole, the whole thing comes out. क्या बोलते हैं उसको, चिटके नहीं है ना? It is still there in its groove, and the groove only has come out. Like that. So they give way. And then and sometimes these guys will pick you up and throw you on the basketball court, like that. Sometimes they'll throw a bucket of water on you, come, attendance, morning program, like that. And their morning program, what is supposed to happen? So in the morning program, what is supposed to happen? जैसे देखो मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम में सबसे पहले प्रवचन, फर्स्ट क्लास. वैसे सुनना तो पड़ेगा ना, विदाउट नॉलेज फंडे नहीं लोगे तो कैसे ग्रो करोगे बेटा. सो सम गाय विल बी स्पीकिंग सम ब्ला ब्ला प्रवचन, और बैठने को भी नहीं देते, नॉट लाइक दिस, ओनली द टॉप गाय सिटिंग, ऑल अदर्स आर स्टैंडिंग, अटेंशन, नो स्टैंड एट ईज, अटेंशन, everybody attention, and you have to listen. And after that, जैसे हो गया, अभी एक क्लास हो गया, अभी एक राउंड करना है. Start with one round. Everybody has to start with one round. उनमें से ठीक है, एक राउंड तो ठीक है, हो जाएगा, हो जाता है ना. One round is easy. बट लेकिन वो राउंड माला वाला राउंड नहीं है. वो राउंड कौन सा राउंड है? If you know IIT hostels, all IIT hostels, including girls hostel, boys hostel, everything is in an elliptical road, It's an elliptical road, That is called as one round, and that round constitutes of 2.2 kilometers. ऐसे देखो बाबू, एक माला से मतलब एक राउंड से चालू करो. Start with one round. और 2 हफ्ते के बाद अब बोलते हैं अभी one round sufficient नहीं है. You have to increase your rounds. Rounds तो बढ़ाना ही पड़ेगा. That is the compulsion, है ना? राउंड्स तो बढ़ाना ही पड़ेगा, है ना? लेकिन एक राउंड बढ़ाया तो 4.4, 2 राउंड बढ़ाया तो 6.6 किलोमीटर्स, है ना? उसके बाद बीसी रॉय ही आता है. बीसी रॉय इज द हॉस्पिटल. उसके बाद there is only one destination, BC Roy. Why? Because too much strain, physical strain and all that. So this is how the social needs are fulfilled, This is how the social needs are fulfilled. And then they say what? So and then they say, okay, we have our own nomenclature. In the OP, one of the things which they say is that they say, okay, that you have to increase your dictionary of what? Of abuses. So they have all kinds of nasty, sensual, sexual abuses and all that. They say, dekho, one who memorizes the maximum, then such a person will be will be rewarded and this and that. So you're forced to, then they force everyone to memorize all these sexual, sensual abuses and all that. And there is another thing in the OP which is called as Wing OP. In that, what happens is that you have to get the introduction about your senior, Okay, what kind of school he was in, some things which are not self-evident on the website or like that. And how many brothers, sisters, so some those kind of things. And these guys, and then you have to go to their room and then ask them for this. And then what they will do is that they will make you, they will make you do many things. And if you satisfy them, they are happy. Then they will give you their intro. So, and one who gets, one is supposed to collect minimum 50 or no, like that, at least intros and all that. And this is one of the nastiest phases of the OP. Why? Because when you go to their rooms, they do the nastiest and the shabbiest of the things. Like some of the things what they will show a pornographic movie clip, and they will say, okay, now everybody gives purport and elaborations on that. This is the kind of nastiest of the things they do. Society, social needs. These are social needs are satisfied. Like that. Or they are asking, let us meditate on some sensual thing or something like that, and that's how they are. So this is one of the most degrading and most nasty of the things which they do, and this is how they satisfy their social needs. Like that. I remember we had just come to second year, and so we were very fearful of this, and therefore we would try to see. One thing was that in the hall activities would start. See, just like our in the temple hall here, 4 o'clock only activities start. It was a fixed time. In the hall there also activities start a fixed time, 10 p.m. 11 p.m. the most active, like that. So sometimes we would try to run off, the hall many a times, so that we can save ourselves. And all. See, that time we were very unfortunate because that time voice was not there. There was no voice. So we were only in the hostel, because preaching had just started in KGP that time. So we had to face the full brunt of it, like that, And we'd be calling out to Krishna on the road, praying to Krishna, give us some strength, We can't go back to the hall, like that. Because there was no voice. There was no altar, there was no prasad, there was nothing, Because preaching had just started actually, and we were in second year. Voice came when we came to the end of third year, the end of our third year, the voice had come. Yeah, no, beginning of third year. I think the beginning of third year, the voice had come. Yeah. Yeah, the beginning of third year, the voice had come. The voice had come in the beginning of third year. So there was no voice, and we had to face all that. So one of the days, what had happened was that this is the third semester had just started, and I had a tough time because we had a deadline, assignment, submission, and all that, and I had not slept for 2-3 days. I used to be regular, but CS assignments would be like that. What to do? One assignment would minimum take 100 hours, and at any given point of time, we would have 2 to 3 assignments in parallel. Different days submissions, but one given intersection like that. It was very intense. So I not slept 2-3 days, and I remember 6:30, 7 p.m. only. I think I would have I was knocked out and slept. So those days, I remember whenever I would sleep, I would play. Actually, the hall atmosphere is not very conducive, no? So all that sensual music is being playing around, and people play it too loud, like that. So to counter that, I had also brought very solid state-of-the-art stereo systems, which can counter all that, nasty, sensual music, too much of sensual music and all that. Boom, 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 like that kind of sensual music and all that. So I used to play Aindra Prabhu's Kirtans. Aindra Prabhu's Vrindavan Kirtans, and I would play, and I like that. And my stereo systems are really state of the art, So because I was a CS guy also, like that. So and it was very loud. How loud it was? 8 rooms this side, 8 rooms that side, you can understand this is the Hare Krishna area. So that means so my room was at the starting of one of the wing, 8-room wing is there, starting of one of the wings. So this whole wing, that whole wing, like that, and they would be completely submerged to the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Rama Rama Hare Hare. So this is Aindra Prabhu, Prabhupada's disciple. Sometimes he would sing from Mangalarti to Mangalarti, continuous. In front of, sitting in front of Shri Radha Shyama Sundar, and Krishna Balaram. So that day I was very tired. I just switched on the kirtans and I slept off. By the way, that day there was a great party, and they had said this party compulsory attendance. This was the very elite party, the party of the whole thing. What is this party about? So the point is that there was convocation, and because there was convocation, many of the elite pass outs, they had come back, and the convocation ends at 5-6 o'clock, and then the party is in the evening. So after their whole felicitation degree and all that, then all these elite seniors, they were coming back to their own homeland, halls, their cherished halls, their homelands, and therefore there was the greatest of the celebrations, like that. But anyways, their parties have a fixed time of starting. 10 p.m. is the starting time. I was knocked out at 7 p.m. like that. So the 10 p.m. the party started, and this party lasted till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that. It was going on, like that. I got to know when I got up. I got up at 4 o'clock. So when I got up and went out, then I got to know what was there yesterday and how it was. So in this party, basically what they had done, social needs. They had brought barrels of wine, not bottles, barrels. One barrel is 50 liters. This big. Barrels of wine they had brought. Everybody, every second year was forced to drink wine. And not just drink, bathe. Means drink to that extent. By the way, this party was happening in the volleyball court, which was just in the next wing. So there is the wing means 8 rooms, and I am a part of another wing which is 8 rooms, but I am the first. So it's just out there. Just epicenter is just out there. So that's where the whole epicenter was, and my room was right there. And these people had come and tried a dozen times with their hockey sticks, with their NCC boots, and they were banging like anything, and shouting like anything with choicest, with their high class abuses or whatever, like that. And Krishna's arrangements, the chitkani did not open. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been completely lost. A chitkani did not open, and I did not hear, even an iota of their sound, because of Aindra Prabhu's Hare Krishna Kirtans. It was so loud, nothing could penetrate. See, that is Hare Krishna. Take it up, like that. So morning 4 o'clock I got up. I was really sleepy, and I got up and I knew that okay, at 4 o'clock immediately, then I had the habit of get up and go to the bathroom, take the soap kit and run to the bathroom, common bathrooms. Like that. So immediately I went to the bathroom. So in the bathroom, I put the soap kit, the whole the kit of the soap kit I had put at the wash basin, like that. And then so I had put in the wash basin, and I was really sleepy, still sleepy. So I thought, okay, I'll go to the toilet, So sleepy as I was not seeing much. So I tried to push open the door of the toilet, and it was creaking, and as it was creaking, I could get some vision. There was a hand inside. Yeah, I got very afraid. I went back, I said Narsimha, and I started chanting Narsimharthi, Namaste, Narsimhaya, like that, Ugram Viram Maha Vishnu Chalantam Sarvatomukham. Narsimham Bhishanam Badram Mrityu Namamyam. And then now I was no more sleeping, I thought I'll wash my face, so wash basin, and I was remembering that sometimes, washing the face, then instead of plain water, water is coming, or blood is coming out, and all. There was no blood, no blood came out, only water came out. And anyways, I washed my face, and I was not even wanting to close my eyes for a long time, because you don't know what can happen, because it's early morning, 4 o'clock, and and this is a scene, and then I was ready, now I was not sleeping. I was very attentive, like that, and then I was charging towards the toilet, and I was chanting, Narsimha, 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 like that, doing like that, and I was and I mind it, I was, and I was shivering, mind it, like that, and of course, what is coming up, and I opened the toilet, and I saw not only the hand was there, the whole body was there, so. So not only the hand was there, the whole body was there. So here was one of our elite pass outs, 9-pointer, who had got job in Texas Instruments, first day, first job in the campus, and I was sleeping in the commode. Indian. Yeah. I was just sleeping in the commode, like that. So that way. This was their cellist celebration. Social. So anyhow, I left it, and so next wing to my room was, the next wing, that was the epicenter, place. That is where Antadvi Prabhu used to stay. So one of our dear friends, Antadvi Prabhu, you might have met him in Utkarsha time, Antadvi Prabhu. So he used to stay. So I went and woke him up, he was taking time to get up and all that. But then when I woke him up, then I was smiling, and I said, okay, going to the toilet, you will get a eureka. Go to toilet number 3. From the left or right, and I gave him carnets and all that. It's a good, nice time, that way, check it out. So when I came out, so I bathed and came out. I was still chanting Narsimha prayers, like that. I was thinking how unfortunate. This is their level of enjoyment. This is how they fulfill their social need. That is, let's try to be the sense of togetherness ends up in the toilet commode. Like that. And when I came out, I could see the staircase, and in the staircase, all these row of elite seniors, they were all sleeping, dead. And I was remembering, yes, Prabhupada in the Bowery, he would be climbing up the stairs, and all these people would be drugged, and Prabhupada would move them aside to make space for them. I didn't have to move them aside because my room was on the ground floor only, So, but I saw them, Unfortunately, those days, fortunately, those days, there were no mobiles. Otherwise, I would have taken selfies and I would have shown you videos, You see, this is where, these were the elite fellows and all that, And then both of us got ready, and we used to go to Patel, because there was Revatipati Prabhu's room, a triple room with single occupancy, That was his influence, So we used to do our morning program out there, and so I was going, and I think I was going alone. Antadvi Prabhu was just coming in sometime, so I was just leaving, like that. And when I was just leaving, then I was seeing that therefore this hall president was there, He was still there in the volleyball court, This is 5 a.m. now, and he's shaking, and he's trying to dance, like that, and he's there with a barrel of wine still. One barrel was some barrels were toppled off. It was all over, but some were still there. There's still some content there. And he was inviting me. Okay, time is up. So he was inviting me, so he was inviting me, and he said, "Why don't you taste this?" I said, "No, I have better option than this. You only enjoy, like that, So, but he didn't have strength at that point of time. He's completely drunk. He didn't have any strength to, call me, shout at me, or hold me or something. He was himself not able to stand. What he will do anything with me. I simply passed off, chanting Hare Krishna, like that. And that day I was, I had tears in my eyes. I was wondering that, you see, these guys, they, every single second year they had made them drink. And in the daytime, I met all these second years, they were all crying that, how these people had made them forcibly drink and all that. My state would have been the same like that. Who saved me? Hare Krishna Mahamantra saved me. It was the Hare Krishna Mahamantra which saved me. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, a lot of power, So much power, no infection can come inside, And I have practical experience of that. Otherwise, these people would have dunked me inside that wine barrel, and I was fortunate. I was saved like that. So this is how their social needs are fulfilled. Yeah. So sometimes because I was trying to be, I was trying to practice spirituality, some of these guys would pounce upon my case very badly. One time they caught me at the breakfast time. It was like an Abhimanyu Chakravyuh. I was poor Abhimanyu. 12 of them surrounded, and then they were saying, "Isko kuch gyan do," क्या स्पिरिचुअल लगा के रखा है ना पूरे हॉस्टल में, एटमॉस्फेयर बर्बाद करके रखा है. एंड व्हेन पास आउट ही वाज टेलिंग, अच्छा ये भी स्पिरिचुअल है? बोले ये भी, यही तो पूरे फसाद का ट्यूमर जड़ है ना. लाइक दैट दे वर सेइंग, ज्ञान दो इसको, ज्ञान दो कुछ, and then they were challenging and this and that, and arguments are going on back and forth. It started at 9 a.m. Sunday. It went on till 6 p.m. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. So like that, these fellows are like, they are like that. And one of these, and then they would say that, and then they were challenging, and they would say that, this guy, we want this guy in debate. Just a minute. And then I would say, nothing doing, for you fellows, nothing doing. This tongue will only speak glories of Krishna. So, and in Bhagavatam, this verse comes that, if I speak anything else other than Krishna, my tongue will become unchaste. So I was not knowing much. I was very new in Krishna consciousness, just 2-3 months in Krishna consciousness, and because I came towards the end of first year, this is the beginning of second year. So like that, I was very young. I was new, and I didn't know, but whatever I knew, is what I would share, And then I would say, you guys, you are like new crows, simply reminiscing on the garbage of sensuality. And these Westerners, they are old crows. They are saturated with it. They're trying to India and trying to explore some options and alternatives. But you guys, you're new crows. And you are enthusiastic about the garbage which you are eating. You keep eating your garbage. I am not going to partake. And then say, oh, no. So like this would go on, like that. So one time, this kind of, I was trying to save myself, because these people were in Chakravyuh, so whatever weapons I had, I was shooting, like that. But it did work also. See, Krishna Katha has power. Now you may say, Arey, these people are on your case, very badly, and they were charging at you, but it did have power. What power it had? Because I used to, to save myself, I was openly sharing Krishna Katha with them and challenging them and all that, not knowing much. I was very young in Krishna consciousness, and no systematic, only here and there lectures. There was no Utkarsha Surti camps those times, it was all nothing, you hear anything, the first book I read in Krishna consciousness was Brahmacharya and Krishna consciousness, and then I read teachings of Lord Kapil Dev, and then one devotee caught me and he said, "Kya pad rahe ho?" And then I told, "Kya pad rahe ho?" Then he was like, Gaurasundar Prabhu, he was like, "Hey, ye kya kar rahe ho?" Then I started my journey with On the Way to Krishna, because I got some direction. But by that time it was already 6-8 months, all these episodes had passed by that time, So the point is that I was, but because of this, what used to happen? These guys, the entertainment secretary, the Happa, the hall president is called as Happa in KGP. The Happa, the entertainment secretary, the sock and cult secretary, and one more, I think the maintenance secretary and all that. All these 4 guys used to come to Patel Hall every Sunday for morning program. Yeah. So Krishna Katha is powerful. That is the power. But by the way, one time I was sitting, this was the evening snacks, and this entertainment secretary came and sat beside me, and another secretary sat, and 1-2 more seniors were coming, And I thought, Bapre, us din, that day these guys, they sat in the morning, it was 6 p.m. Abhi ye 6 baje aa rahe hain, 6 p.m. I don't know when they will leave me, And I had assignments. I was really tensed, I said, abhi breakfast, snacks I chhodta hu. I had just started. I thought, abhi plate ko abhi side karta hu, I'll just walk off, So I started going, he held my hand. So he said, कहाँ जा रहे, थोड़ा बैठिए, थोड़ा हमारे साथ प्रेम मित्रता से बात कीजिए. बिल्कुल भी नहीं, देखो ज़्यादा छोड़ दो अभी मुझे, I was, he said, नहीं कुछ नहीं, थोड़ा प्रेम की बातें करेंगे, थोड़ी मित्रता की बातें करेंगे, थोड़ा फ्रेंडशिप घनिष्ठ होगा, like that, I said, बिल्कुल भी बातें नहीं करेंगे, कुछ नहीं करेंगे. They said बस एक बात मान लो हमारी. And they were pushing me, nagging me, एक बात मान लो, एक बात मान लो, ना. I said क्या बात माननी है? They said बस हमारे रूम चलो. That entertainment secretary was a nasty guy, you know. His room, it was A block, 101. मतलब actually at room number 12 or 24, 16. Room number 16, the staircase is there, down going staircase. This fellow is that end. From there, even if you shout, the voice will not come to C block, B block, So I do like that. वो कोने में उसका room, and that also 4th floor. So I said, तुम्हारे रूम बिल्कुल भी नहीं है ना, मरना ही क्या वहां जाके है ना. Because you don't know what these guys will do with you and all that. They're nasty guys, bad guys actually. But and they said नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं करेंगे, like that. कुछ नहीं करेंगे तो जाने का क्या फायदा. नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन जो करेंगे बहुत प्रेम का, बहुत friendship, They said the whole goal is हमारा friendship बहुत घनिष्ठ होगा, And they were not leaving me only. It was so irritating. See, they're seniors, you can't do too much also, but I was, what to do, and I cannot just say yes also. So what to do? And I was chanting, I was praying, and I was trying to resist. And then I was telling, ठीक है, मुझे clear बताओ, करने क्या वाले हैं आप, moment to moment बताओ. अरे कुछ नहीं. रूम के अंदर जाएंगे, अच्छा ठीक है, फिर कुछ नहीं. फिर चिटकेनी बंद कर देंगे, इनकी चिटकेनी बंद कर देंगे. बाप रे, कृष्णा सेव मी, है ना, कृष्णा मुकुंदा सेव मी, है ना. चिटकेनी बंद कर देंगे, क्या करने वाले, है ना. सर फिर अरे सर कुछ नहीं है ना, टेक इट इजी, कुछ नहीं करना है. यू स्ट्रिप ऑफ. सर स्ट्रिप ऑफ, स्ट्रिप ऑफ. सर यस. And then they said to encourage me, because I was numb and dumb, at this point of time. I was not reacting because it was so nasty. It's a strip off clothes. Gee. And I was about to vomit. And they were encouraging me. They said, no. Then we will also strip off. I said, you will also strip off. Gee. Like that. Allah. And they said, no, when we do this, our friendship will become more intense. Ghanisht Prem. Ghanisht Sambandh, like that. So, those days I didn't used to have any, the mobiles were not there. Otherwise, I would have recorded all this and put it all around India, And what these guys, they do and all that. So, this is how their social needs are fulfilled, you see. How nasty. How animalistic. So some of my school friends, they told me everywhere in India this kind of scene is there. In IIT Delhi, the ragging happens in the first year itself. All these kind of nasty things. And the key ending of that, the culmination, the apex of that is there is a celebration night. So that night celebration, what happens is they have a grand feast. After that, everybody assembles in the hall midnight, and they close all lights. That is the grand finale event. What they do, they close all lights, big hall, everybody is assembled, like that. And then what happens is that everybody strips off. And then there is rock dance. This is how people's social needs are fulfilled. So nasty. Animalistic. Whereas when it comes to devotional service and devotee association, how the social needs are fulfilled? By chanting together. The Krishna is in the center, we're chanting and helping each other. By dancing together. In circles we danced. And Srila Rupa Goswami explains that when we chant and dance together, when we discuss Krishna Katha together, then our relationship intensifies, the friendship intensifies, and Krishna is in the center. Like that. When there is, I see, when some devotee's birthday is there, other devotees, they cook for him. They say, my dear Prabhu, it's your birthday, I have cooked besan laddu for you. Happy birthday to you. Like that. Another devotee is bringing some juice. Another devotee is bringing some pakoda. Like that. This is how the social needs in devotee circle are fulfilled. The needs of being together, teamwork, synergy, and all that. So that is the kind of thing. The third thing which management gurus talk about, the need is called as intellectual need. Intellectual need. But whereas in the hostel life, mostly these intellectual needs are how these intellectual, like in this OP phase, I call this OP not as orientation program, I call it as overall putrefaction. Now instead of OP, they change the name to AP. AP, you know. So it was overall putrefaction. Now it is all around purification, putrefaction. You know, so the same thing. You know, the same thing, like that. So where the how the intellectual needs are fulfilled, they say, okay, you have to memorize and mug up all, not shlokas, not Gita shlokas, Bhagavatam shlokas, but abuses. You know, you have to mug up all the addresses of the pornographic sites. You know, how to use your intelligence, how to break all kinds of proxy firewalls and all that, and still access pornographic stuff. This is where the intellectual needs are fulfilled. Whether it is DC or it is torrent or whatever, you know. So how to have some sleek ways of accessing all the garbage stuff of the world. Whereas in a devotee life, how the intellectual needs are fulfilled, you know, by reading the Shastras. And the Shastras are so nice. They're full of sweetness, but they're full of depth. They're full of, you know, you see the stories also, you know, the pastimes. The pastimes are so sweet, but there is logic also in Shastras. There is action sequences also in the Shastras. There are emotions also in the Shastra, but there are so deep emotions, you know? Like Lord Ramachandra is having tears in his eyes, and he is telling Lord Hanuman, that Hanumanji, for the service which you have done to me, because Hanumanji brought the address of Mother Sita. So Hanumanji is crying that he could get some opportunity of service. And he is very grateful to Lord Ram that Lord Ram has accepted him, although he is unqualified. He is a Vanar Jati. So, and Hanumanji is crying, Lord Ram is crying, tears of gratitude, and he is telling Hanumanji, for what service you have done. I cannot repay you back. I don't have anything to give you back. Just accept my embrace. And like that, the Lord Ramachandra is embracing. So there are times, so you see the point. So there are emotions, but what sweet, how sweet, how so everything is there, and there is mind-boggling reality, mind-boggling descriptions which are there in Bhagavatam. Now, so there are plots, there is sensational, there is everything. So therefore, that is how, as a devotee, our intellectual needs are fulfilled. See, intellectualism is also about creativity. You know, creativity, you know, and so creativity, and how our devotees see. So in the modern day world, how their creativity needs are fulfilled. Their creativity needs are fulfilled in trying to invent newer and newer kinds of sex life, different variations of sex, different variants of sex, then different variations of sexuality or gender. Some devotee was telling me now they have some 72 types of sexuality or genders, 72 types of genders, like that. This is how their creative needs are fulfilled, है ना? कुछ तो नया निकाल के लाना है ना? जो हुआ नहीं, है ना? And then they come up with newer and newer algorithms of how to do belligerent activities, and then they have to come up, and then they come up with newer and newer ways how to commit suicide. I was there with one of our devotees who was in second year, and that day her brother had committed suicide, and I was there with him, and his parents were called, and the parents were in train from morning till evening, and they were not disclosed what is happening. And the second year devotee, he came to know through the news, that his brother had committed suicide. And I was with him that whole day. And parents are not knowing, parents are in the journey. Only the school authority, college authorities in Indore, they had called them to say that, okay, we need to discuss something important, you come. They are not knowing what has happened. And the son, he is not disclosing. And he knows that, what has happened. And he is completely broken up. Parents are again calling in. And I am there, And I was there trying to help him out in that situation, and like that. So this guy, he committed suicide. His brother, I'm but a very unique way of committing suicide. How? There are hangers, nails or hangers at the back of the door. You go hang your clothes. From there, he hanged a belt, and through that, he committed suicide. Is it possible? It's true story. That's how he committed suicide. He tried out the fan, but I think the rope broke. Something like that, No. So, one time in IIT Bombay, there were suicides and people were hanging from the fan. So they came up, they had a conference, how to, prevent suicides and all that. They removed fans from that hostel. They made it air conditioned, So, so he committed suicide. So very unique way of committing suicide, and so 3 months he was planning which modality to commit suicide. Like that, 3 months. So you see, this is how the creativity needs are fulfilled. And for a devotee, their creativity needs are how they fulfilled. Their creativity needs are fulfilled. How can I preach the message of Krishna? How can I share this glorious message of Krishna with people? What can I say that they can take it? This jewel-like oceanic nectar, how can I share with them? This is how the devotee's intellectual needs are fulfilled. And the fourth one, which management gurus talk about, the fourth need which every individual has is spiritual need. Management gurus talk about the fourth need is the spiritual need. Minded outside of Krishna consciousness, people don't even have any notion of what is called a spirituality. People think anything is, and people call and think and they consider anything as spiritual. One time in Jadavpur area, we were searching a flat for rent for our voice. So I had told the devotees, you please inform the owners that we will have some kirtan prayer program morning 7 o'clock every day, short 30-40 minutes. Because if you don't inform them, some of them say you never informed us, you cheated us and all that, you're disturbing us and this and that. So previously, pehle hi inform karo. So whichever place, everything, it's like we want to do everything with dignity and with, if you're happy, it's fine. If you're not happy, we'll search some other place. Like that. So these devotees told, okay, we are spiritual, we do arti and all that. There was this old man, old lady, and they became very happy. They said, oh, we are also spiritual. So our devotees also became very happy. They said, okay, humble obeisance Prabhuji Mataji then. So then they said, Prabhuji Mataji. So then immediately they started asking, our students, that okay, Prabhuji Mataji, how many rounds you chant? They said, rounds? What do you mean rounds? You said you are spiritual, no? They said, okay, we are spiritual, but we don't do any rounds and all that. We do different things. Then our devotees got confused. Then they said, okay, what things you do? They said, oh, we have 25 cats. 25 cats. And we feed them 4 times a day. And every meal, 125 cats come to take prasad, whatever they are making. And then these devotees were, they had a double-sided doubt, So, how this feeding cats is spiritual, that is the big doubt they had, And you have 25 cats, but prasad, 125 cats are taking, how is it possible, So they had all these doubts. So second doubt they explained. They said, they, these 25 call their friends, So there is that sangha, and because we are feeding 125 cats 4 times a day, we are so spiritual, you see. So the devotee said, okay, humble obeisance. And they left. So people have no notion. One time, one of my school passers, we were meeting after a long time. He said, hey, you become spiritual man. Let me tell you, my company is also very spiritual. Yo. And I was wondering, yo kar raha hai or spiritual bol raha hai, My company is also very spiritual. Then I said, what is spiritual in your company, bhai? Batao. I was not that confused because I was knowing, kuch to iska, dhol hai, concepts kharab hai kuch, So, I asking, kya spiritual hai aapki company mein? They say, we in the company, we are all together, we are all one, we don't much differentiate, distinguish man, woman, boy, girl, everything same, everybody together, one unit, this and that, See, we are so spiritual. No gender boundary, no nothing, And I was telling, are you spiritual hai ya sensual hai? So people have no idea what is called a spirituality. And therefore, we are extremely grateful to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees who have given us Krishna consciousness. That we have such a clear cut idea of what is called as spirituality. Otherwise, in the name of spirituality, people are eating what not. And people are simply messing up with their lives. So this is how, and that's why we can see that such a panoramic contrast. One can see that yes, when there is devotee association and we stay in devotee association, how these four needs, physical, social, intellectual, and spiritual needs, get fulfilled in such a superlative and sweet manner. Whereas one is outside of the association of devotees, one is staying in the hostel and non-devotees, then these same needs are fulfilled in such a shabby and nasty manner. And therefore, it is explained that if there is only one thing which we can commit to, that come what may lifelong, I will always stay in the association of devotees. Life is going to be very adventurous and sweet. When one can unleash and experience the ocean of happiness and thrill in this very life. And that's what Krishna has created this world for. So that opportunity we have, and therefore, I will end on the same note at which we started our discussion. Therefore, the main thing in life is to keep the main thing the main thing. If the spiritual gear if in the spiritual track we have the top gear, everything else manifests and gets laid out in a very beautiful way. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here for today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.